Hello guys, good day to each and everyone. This is Mariela Paben and today I will tackle all about or present all about the reading aloud. So it is not new to us what is reading aloud, right? So reading aloud, we all know that it is reading with voice or reading a text or phrase not in silence but we speak also. So, here I will present to you what is the meaning of reading aloud. Read aloud is an instructional practice where teachers, parents, and caregivers read text to their children, or it is the other way around that the children can also read aloud. The reader incorporates variation of pitch or tone, pace, volume, pauses, eye contact, questions, and comments to produce a fluent and enjoyable delivery. So here we can know that reading aloud is not only developing one skill, or we can say one macro skill, but two, but it is reading and also speaking. So here, I will show you the Lori's top 5 surefire strategy for reading aloud. Especially, we are future educators and we can use these strategies, especially when we're teaching our students how to read or reading aloud more specifically. First, the read aloud challenge. You can let them read 5 to 7 times a day. One of the read aloud session is longer to build attention or comprehension and stamina also. Around 10 to 15 minutes. You would let them read 10 to 15 minutes per day so that they could exercise their vocabulary, and also you will let them explore books or the contents of any literature. It includes poem, nonfiction, newspapers, articles, how-to books or directions, jokes, menus, online materials, and short story. But also, we must think when we are using this read aloud challenge, the first step in the strategy is the um, capacity of our student, or what kind of literature we should use when teaching or letting them read. But because of course, if we will let them read those topics that they cannot relate to, it would be boring and they it would make them less curious, or they wouldn't explore more. Next, number two, census alert. As your students listen during read aloud, ask them to be the lookout for the sentences, words, and phrases that requires them to use their senses to really experience and comprehend the book. So we have our five senses, right? So the eyes, the nose, the mouth. So yes, for example, when one of that um phrase said that Mama Bear cooks a delicious food. So how do you feel? What senses do you use when the teacher is reading that book? So it is the sense of taste. So with that, the students could relate more to the text because they know the feeling. Oh, so in other words, that soup that Mama Bear cooked is delicious. Next, partner talk. This is the third strategy. Before and after reading aloud, to deepen the students' comprehension, allow the students quickly turn and talk to their partners for just a minute or so about their question, confusion, and ideas related to the text. So, students, or especially in elementary days, um, childrens really like to talk a lot with their friends, right? Especially with the stories, or sometimes the telenovela that they have seen. So let them talk, and in that way they could share their ideas about the story that they have read or you have read. Next, number four, literacy mystery boxes. So this is a kind of activity. Mystery boxes are reading aloud, memorable for students. It provides discussion, prompts, opportunities for rich vocabulary instructions. Have students bring their mystery boxes, so you will let them bring their own boxes to go with the books they are reading as well. So, for example, you let them bring their own box. You would put many things on it, and they would be blindfolded, or they will touch what things is inside that box, and you will let them share what they feel inside the box, or let them guess what is what's the thing that you put into that box. So lastly, the interactive engagement. You can easily make your read alouds a bit more interactive by inviting students to turn and talk back to their partners before and after reading the text. One example of this is they will role play or dramatize the story that they have read or you have read. Also, they can make an art out of that. So that's it. And next of our topic is importance of reading aloud. First, increased comprehension. Of course, if we read a lot, we will catch up more ideas or words, right? So then reading aloud maybe feel more active than reading alone in their heads, they which makes them easier for to ingest information and also because they have partners, or you as a teacher, they have you to read the text. So, of course, kung ikaw ang naa sa kanang stand sa imong student, 'di ba it's more boring nga ikaw lang magbasa ka na sa imong utok nagsulod. And I have a research na nabasa kay reading aloud can it makes more information goes through your head because you are not only using one macro skills, which is the reading, but also your listening skills, right? Because you're listening, instead of reading only, you're also listening to what you read. That is why most of the words or the topic or ideas that the text or that literature wants to convey, it would be easier to understand for you. So next, we have improve vocabulary. Students also able to use each other's collective words or knowledge to identify these words and correct mispronounced and incorrect meanings. So, improve jud imong vocabulary, most especially kanang na kay mali na ma-pronounce. For example, rendezvous. So, your teacher or as a teacher, future educator, makorek na mo imong student that it is pronounced as rendezvous. Next, 3. Sharpened focus. Because reading aloud requires more concentration to comprehend and pronounce the words on the page, it is easier to ignore distraction. So, not only kan, di ba, nagbasa lang, kaysa nagbasa lang kag kanang in silent, in your head only. Dili siya ma-ingest or dili nimo masabtan dayon. It's different with reading aloud kay kanang in the noise nga makuha nimo from outside, murag ma-block siya pod sa imong voice because instead of reading comprehending lang ka, nagapaminaw ka sa imong voice, so imong focus kay nara jud sa text na imong ginabasa. Lastly, remembers words and text more better. So, mo na akong ginaingon ganina. The memory boosting effect of reading aloud is particularly strong in children, but it works for older people too. So, kusog jud ma-digest ang mga words or vocabulary na gusto nimo kuhaon because of reading aloud. kay much more mahinumduman nimo ang words, not only kanang gibasa lang nimo in silent. Okay, rendezvous, napay possibility na mamali ka, maka kanang unlike pag reading aloud, maka oh rendezvous. So that word rendezvous, oh ma-instill na sa imong utok, oh kana siya, rendezvous na siya. So next, we have not only the advantage, but we will also tackle about the advantage and disadvantage. First, we have here the advantage. Repetition. Of course, mabalik-balik nimo ang words, and 'di ba, for katong example ako, rendezvous or boutique, kabalo na kaana na, oh, boutique, or we can say that the parroting style na from the teacher, or from you, or from your teacher mo ana, oh pagbasa ana kay boutique. So maparot ay ma-copy nimo siya, or parroting style na, okay, that is read as boutique. So that's what we call repetition. Next, the confidence. Um, Especially daghan na kag vocabulary na hibalan. So you're able to articulate more words, or kanang mabasa nimo siyang tarong, and it is so nice nga na magbasa ka sa atubangan sa mga taon. It really boosts your confidence na, yes, I know this. So something like that. Next is passive to active. So more learnings, or more curiosity na mag-instill sa imong hunahuna. For when me as a tutor, I have experienced this lately na instead of letting my students read in silent, I would let them read aloud, or I will read aloud to them, because it really boosts their curiosity and their minds really work, especially when they're listening, or they are the ones who read the text. Also, I can correct them if ever they have mispronounced words. And we have here also the disadvantage. First in the list is confusing spelling. So sometimes we get the wrong word, or misspelled words, especially in pen or pin. It's, it's so easy, right? Easy raman. Let me give you another example, like though, thought, or throw, right? Usay malibog ta unsa na, unsay spelling, o unsa tong giingon ni ma'am, especially kanang nagdictate or dictation, makuan na nato, like sa face to face, magdictate lang ang teacher, then usay pagtan-aw nato sa, mali atong nakuan, dili na masabtan ang text nga atong gisulat, or the note. Next is risk of saying it wrong. So kabalo na ta, we have, maybe all of us have experienced this na kanang ma-mispronounce nato ang word, kay kanang it lowers our confidence, especially if we have toxic classmates nga katawan ka instead of correcting you that mispronounced word. Next, not engaged to the content. So dili ma connect sa student ang kanang content na kanang dapat nimo i-convey, especially kung dili sila ka-relate. So they doesn't know the content, or what you're saying about tahay na mga students nimo kay grade 2, and you're talking about articles and kanang mga magazines, newspapers. So doesn't boost their curiosity, that wala sila labot ana. So you can see here the key point of our topic for today. So reading aloud is one of the most important things as parents and teachers can do with their children. Reading aloud builds many important foundational skills, introduces vocabulary, provides a model of fluency, expressive reading, and it helps children recognize the reading for pleasure is all about. So that is the most important part of reading, right? Not only the reading, na simply reading lang, but also the listening. And not only the listening ha, also the speaking skills na makatch up nila ang mga right pronunciation of the word. So maybe, yes, that is the last part of our topic, the key points. So here, do you have any questions or clarifications, addition to my topic, or subtraction, multiplication, or whatsoever? Feel free to chat me or ask me in person what are the topics that kanang wala ninyo nasabtan o masyado, or paspas lang ba kay ko nag lesson. So here's our word for today. Talent is cheaper than table salt. Why? Because what separates the talented individual from successful one is a lot of hard work. So I will remind you guys, my classmates, so laban lang jud ta. Always do hard work. Hard work pays off. And that quote is from a famous author, of course, Stephen King. So here in the last slide are my resources. If you want much more reading so that your vocabulary or learnings would be added more, so you can browse this into the internet. So thanks for listening. Please bear with me kay I shoot this video just tonight because karon lang ko nakaka-free time because I have work. So thank you for listening. I hope you have learned something from me, and feel free to ask question or clarifications. You can chat or ask me in personal. So that's all for today. Thank you, and God bless. God bless to our upcoming exam this Friday.